What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. My name is Pigeons. I hope you guys are well and warm. Kicking it fly today. We're sitting in on location on my 4x4 veg tent. These are some, well, genetics that I can't really discuss right now because I've got some projects on the go. But I'm sitting under my SE5000 by Spider Farmer, and I wanted to hash out a few questions in regards to big lights and little plants and ways to just get the most out of both of them. So I was sitting on my stream yesterday, twitch.tv/pigeons420, and someone came in and said, Pigeons, I got a question for you. I've got a big light and I'm kind of curious if you can run the light at full brightness while in early veg. And my answer was, yeah, of course you can. My light right now is at 100%. Today's day and age, LEDs are dimmable. I know the SE5000 by Spider Farmer is dimmable, so you can switch it either between the dim switch or the actual light switch, which will give you the option to have it on full blast or have the option to dim. When you're early in veg like this, you're going to want, in my opinion, the lights as high as you can, far up, and I'll put them at 100%. That way, these little veg plants are going to come out of their pots hardy. They're going to come out strong and ready to take on that bright light source. When you do have it that high, you do want to make sure that you've got, your heater going. You want good moisture. You want to make sure you got air circulation, because if you don't, having it on full blast is going to make it real hot, real crisp, and real dry. So you're going to want to make sure that you're counteracting that to give yourself some good quality environment settings. Now, how do you do that? Well, I've got state-of-the-art inline fan running through the top that allows me to control it outside the tent with the Controller Pro 69. That makes it all easy. I got a tent that works for me, so make it easy for yourself as well. I've got the clip-on fans running. That's going to help circulate this air so that you don't have a constant blast of photons coming down on these girls with sheer intensity. Also keep in mind that you're going to want to ensure that you've got just the right humidity. I like to ensure that I check out a VPD chart as well. That's going to tell you exactly where to keep your temperature and where to keep your humidity. As they start to pop their heads out from underneath the soil, that's when you're going to want to start to lower your light. You don't want them to get real lanky and real stretchy. Generally speaking, if you've got a little bit of green life, if you can hold your hand above the pot and it's not uncomfortable, that's going to be enough for your plants. So keep that in mind. The closer you get the light, you might want to dim it down. So if you don't have the height in your tent to afford a very bright light, dim it down but bring it closer. So personally, I like to keep it at 100% brightness but at about 5 feet in height. If you don't have 5 feet in height, well, consider lowering it but bringing the dim down to about 50%. That way these plants are going to have every opportunity to grow healthy, strong, and directly towards the light. If there's too much space between your LED and the top of your pot, your plants are going to be lanky. And you don't want them to be lanky, because then they're not going to be strong, they're going to be they're going to be easy to tip over, and they're not going to be able to bear big, heavy fruits. And the veg stage is all about preparing those plants for big, heavy fruits. So keep that in mind. I also like to come into my tent and I like to rotate the pots as well. So never keep the pots in the same location. Give them a little bit of a spin. Maybe move them to one side of the tent, maybe to another. It kind of makes sure that there's no dead spots of light that are coming onto your plants. So you'll have no dark spots. The plants will actually, it kind of emulate the sun as it goes from the east to the west, and then that way they get a little hardier as they track the sun. So try to give them a little bit of exercise by scooting them around the tent underneath the light. These particular girls are actually being prepared for an outdoor grow. You might be asking, Pigeons, why are you starting them inside? Well, I actually want them to be bigger before we plant them outside. Generally speaking, June 1st is the date to start planting flowers outside, and it's not quite June 1st yet. So I've planted them inside so that I can optimize the indoor environment before I send them outdoors. Lights like this, like the SE5000, have no problem getting these plants hardy enough to be able to take in the sun. But of course, we want to start early, we want to get them big, and then we want to acclimate them a couple hours a day or a few hours a day to ensure that they're not going to just hit the sunlight and wilt, because the intensity of the sun is something that's very tough to emulate, and you want to make sure you're taking the proper steps to harden off your girls before you send them outside. So I'm trying to give them a good 2-3 week start before I even get them outside, and I can do just that sitting under a light just like this. Now, of course, if I know I'm going to get asked, this is the SE 5000 by Spider Farmer. This is their flagship light. This light is perfect for a 4x4 tent. Pretty much reaches each side. It's not their biggest light, but I think for indoor home grow, it's perfect. If you go over to spider-farmer.com, use promo code PIGEONS5 or promo code PIGEONS420. You'll save a few dollars off at checkout, and you can have the exact same lights as me. But that's about all the time I have. If you have any questions in regards to how to harden off your seedlings before you get them outside, how to adapt your LEDs to your 4x4 or to your tents, post them in the comment section below, and I can't wait to read them, and we'll post them on the next video. Thanks so much for watching. Much love. Stay medicated, because guess what? Life's better that way. Peace.